welcome to Nosey Road for this evening's championship clash with Halifax. First out on the pitch, Captain Shane Cooper, and tonight's matchday mascot, who is Michael Grime, 12 years of age. He's a big lad there, just came out with Shane Cooper. He attends St Augustine's High School at Blackbrook. As you know, Blackbrook area, a hotbed of local rugby league. His hobbies are playing rugby and football, watching both rugby and football, and he likes working on his computer. His favourite player is Alan Hunt. Alan out injured, a badly injured left knee, I think it is. We don't know how serious it is at present. We're up, wish him a speedy recovery. But Michael Grime, the matchday mascot. The Saints team for this evening: Steve Prescott at full-back, Riley, Griffiths, Loughlin and Sullivan the three-quarters, Beavers and Cooper at half-back, the half-back pairing, with Neil, Dwyer and Dannett in the front row, Mann, Nicol and Joint the back three, O'Donnell and Pickavance on the bench. The Halifax side, Steve Lay at full-back, and they have Sharp, Schuster, Bentley and Preston in the three-quarters, Hagan and Robinson are the half-back pairing, Harrison, Lawless and Lord in the front row, with Jackson, Boyd and Devorty the back three. Perrott and Fieldhouse are their subs. Carl Harrison, captain for Halifax, along with Shane Cooper, the Saints captain, matchday referee David Campbell, and the Saints matchday mascot for this evening, Michael Grime, 12 years of age. Big lad, isn't he? Look at him just at the side of referee Dave Campbell. So here comes Michael over to my commentary position for this evening. I'm actually in the director's box, poo-pooed once again with it being a Sky broadcast. Unfortunately, I think it's Steve-O and Eddie Hemmings. They don't want any competition up there, and therefore I'm in another part of the ground. Well, not to worry, we get the job done. So as I said when we was playing Bradford, if I get me rights and lefts wrong, obviously the camera on the opposite side of the field, you just have to bear with me. Anyway, it's Phil Beavers, versatile Beavers, to get us underway. Kicks it deep. Halifax in possession, nearly breaking through over the 20-metre line there. Bernard Dwyer quickly in with George Mann. Solid tackling. He's going to be the order of the day, obviously, and Halifax play it quickly. Big Carl Harrison running hard, making good yardage. Malcolm Reilly, the Halifax and Great Britain coach, will have his side all fired up. They're in 6th position in the Stones Bitter League table. The Saints in 2nd. But good work there, good into passing. Halifax grubbing it through. Paul Loughlin back after a groin strain. Takes it comfortably, knocks it back, then gathers it. First tackler in was Carl Harrison, but it's Chris Joint in the loose forward berth this evening, with Shane Cooper reverting to the scrum half position. Mike McLennan, he wants a big pack against Halifax. Obviously they have a big pack, a big set of forwards, but he still has plenty of options as Bernard Dwyer breaks quickly, just as he did last Sunday against Oldham. Created a try for Andy Dannett, but he has a good eye as Bernard. Beavers out to the right, Steve Prescott links up well, blistering pace off Prescott if he can get through into a gap. The ball back to Beavers, puts it downfield. Steve Lay now. He was on loan, whether he's actually been signed fully, I don't know, but Mark Preston, lively wingman, comes crossfield. Halifax in possession again, just on their own 20-metre line. Oh, John Neal, they don't need me to tell you did that. George Mann inside to Loughlin. George Mann drew the Halifax defence. Loughlin came in on the opposite diagonal, 10 metres from the Halifax line. Saints in possession, moving it out to the right. Beavers overlap on the right. Griffiths takes the tackle, but John Neal, fine exponent of the rake at the play of the ball. And John Neal again, he drives in, he gets the ball away, does he? Well, it's loose. Halifax must have possession. Referee Campbell moves on the Saints side. But exciting early minutes, just 2.5 minutes of the game gone. Carl Harrison there get the ball and cries a forward from the crowd. A lot of these short balls are pinpoint. or borderline, if that's the correct term. Well, the ball lost there in the tackle, the severity of the tackle. Cooper onto Nickel. Saints move it over to the right as I am viewing. Mike Riley, Sonny Nickel. Riley loops round again off Nickel. Saints in possession. 10 metres inside the Halifax half. John Neal drives up again. Got to follow this man. Follow the man with the ball. He's always there looking to release it. It's John Neal. Cooper the tactician. On to George Mann, one of the informed forwards for the Saints this season. He's taken down there by Chris Robinson. Saints bring it blind again. Andy Dannett builds up a head of steam and drives into the Halifax 20-metre area. Gary Devorty brings him down finally. There was ex-teammates at Hull, those two. Beavers puts a tester up. Lay moves in, but Saints move up. The ball's knocked back. Saints have possession, do they? No, it's the hooker for Halifax, John Lawless. He's in possession. The Saints' defence was excellent last week at Oldham after a barrage of drives by the big Oldham pack. Bob Linder and Tiny Solomona relentlessly driving into the Saints' defence, but they was unable to penetrate the Saints' line. Centre field, solid tackling, last tackle of the sequence. Halifax looks as though they're going to pop this up in the air. It's a tester for Sullivan and Prescott. Sullivan takes it on the full. Moves through, does Tony Sullivan. Well, and the flopper there coming in over the top, the hooker Lawless. The Shane Cooper winding his way through. Well, the ball was flicked out to the left. It was Steve Prescott, I don't think he was expecting it. Halifax player in there as well, looking for the interception, but it's Michael Jackson, the ex-Wakefield star. Halifax move it to the left. Good tackling by the Saints. Now it's Carl Harrison. As a rule, you've got Paul Bishop snapping around Harrison's heels, but he's out injured. He's had an operation. May have played tonight, but ruled not fit. The kick for the corner, but it's going to be too deep. Goes directly dead. So Saints will restart with a tap from the centre of the 20-metre line. Bernard Dwyer looking to get play underway. The Saints up to the second spot in the league. 12 points to 2 they won at Walter Sheddings last Sunday. He was glad to get the game on, obviously, with Oldham not the warmest of places, but the ground was very playable. After the covering, Laughlin bursting down the wing. Excellent tackling there. Halifax won away also last week at Wakefield by 12 points to 2, same score as the Saints. Always get a tightly contested game against Halifax as a rule. We did last season, and we're looking forward to it this evening. John Neal moving it to the right. Devorty, one of the tacklers there, along with the Lawless. Last one of the sequence. Halifax urged to get on side, but they move up quickly. Beavers with a short chip. Steve Prescott knocks it back. Is it all on? John Griffiths still keeps it going, and Griffiths goes for the line. Well, that's the rule, the last tackle of the sequence. Good work by Prescott linking up there. Halifax run it from the turnover. A few more bodies required over this side as the Saints call for extra support. Schuster, I think that is coming through. Cooper quickly in there. Cooper, the provider there last week. Excellent tactician, gets his side moving. Now it's Lawless at acting halfback. Halifax move it infield. Lively scrum half there, Chris Robinson, but Halifax keep it moving. Quick hands is the order of the day. It's out there to Preston. We know what this fella can do. Speedy wingman, he's finally brought down there. Shane Cooper. A few seasons with Wigan and Preston. And he scored some excellent tries in his time, but Steve Prescott brings it up to the 20-metre line after that kick through by Halifax on the 6th tackle. Oh, Mike Riley, and that's a big hit there. He comes in, takes it well. Halifax moving up in an offside position, and the impartial Saints crowd just letting referee Campbell know that their feelings. He's trying to get them back on side, but obviously they're going to do it as long as the referee will let them. Steve Lay taps it with his foot, then gathers it, plays it, drives up, but the reception committee is there. Loughlin and Chris Joynt. Henry Sharp, he comes in field. These wingmen, a lot of the sides now using the wingmen, coming in. 8 minutes gone, no score at present. Henry Sharp used as acting halfback. Devorty, Robinson along the line, the ball's dropped. Knock on indicated. Scrum down now. Saints feed just inside the Halifax half. Shane Cooper. Shane Cooper will feed it. Loop movement here, Cooper and Beavers along the line. Steve Prescott links up well, gives the ball to Loughlin. Just losing his footing was young Steve, but he's a player for the future. Obviously the coach, Mike McLennan. Well, inside pass, George Mann. Support there from Prescott. Tries to get it away to Tony Sullivan. Sullivan can't gather it. Halifax are allowed to play advantage. Prescott moving through there, looking to squeeze the pass out to Tony Sullivan. Went to ground, Sullivan couldn't take it. Wasn't the best of passes. But Halifax now have possession. Saints are going to be doing a containing job as Harrison loses possession. Griffiths kicks it through and the tackle count will be waved clean, I feel. Yes, there it is. John Bentley came up with possession. Scampering away from the acting half-back position. Taken by the shirt collar there and bounced down. Oh, and there's some good tackling. Gary Lord come through and a big hit by Sonny Nicol. Lord again into the Saints half of the field. Halifax still in possession. Saints move up quickly. The chip kick through. It just finds touch inside the Saints 10-metre line, the 10-metre area. More or less the same team, apart from Paul Loughlin, than we had on Sunday. And still players out injured. Kevin Ward, John Harrison, Tia Rapati, Tommy Martin picked up another knock, not having the best of problems, or best of luck I should say, with injuries, as Beavers brings it away. David Lyon out injured and Alan Hunt with a nasty knee injury. But it's Loughlin again. Just hitting a bit of top form is Paul Loughlin in his testimonial season. I'm sure everything's going well for him. Oh, John Neal gets the ball away to Bernard Dwyer. He's quickly brought down. Solid tackling there. Gary Devorty and Hooker Lawless. But Halifax moving up again as George Mann breaks through. Oh, great drive by George Mann into the Halifax defence there. Now it's Chris Joynt. So referee Campbell just getting the wrath of the crowd, and Carl Harrison there, he's down injured. The last tackle of the sequence, and he doesn't look too clever, does Carl Harrison? Looks like a wrist injury. He's being treated, but Halifax temporarily down to 12 players. Schuster, Neal and Sonny Nicol quickly in. Well, Neal goes for the ball again. Fine exponent, John Leo. Gary Lord there, came through, couldn't take it cleanly. Nearly 13 minutes on the clock, and last Friday evening, that's as much as the old Sky viewers got. 13 minutes with the fog coming down at Bradford, but Harrison's going to have to leave the field. And the ex-Saints favourite John Fieldhouse coming on to replace Carl. He'll be sadly missed. Excellent forward, good driver. As I said, usually the scrum half scampering round Harrison's heels as he creates some yardage. Big frame. Saints win scrum possession. George Mann drives it up. Well, the referee there awarding the first penalty of the evening. Halifax not getting back on side, not lining up correctly, and a chance now for Paul Loughlin to open the scoring. As you know, it's on Sky this evening, even though if you want the best you'll obviously be buying ours. We're away at Hull next Friday, and that is a game that your Saints video crew will not be videoing due to the lack of facility at the Boulevard. The next game is Warrington in the Regal Trophy, and obviously we'll keep you posted about that. So Loughlin, well, pulls it to the right, so a golden opportunity for the Saints to take an early lead. 13 minutes gone, and Paul Loughlin puts it to the right. Kicked 28 goals this season. That is sure of injury problems, but the crowd get behind him, they'll gee him up. As you can hear, they say, come on Paul, he'll just get on with it now. Strange how sometimes from in front of the sticks these kickers can't get them between the uprights, and then they'll fire one over from on the touchline. Halifax encroaching again as Chris Joint brought down on the halfway line. Referee Campbell is pointing, but he's not penalising. He's looking, he's urging the side back. The Saints play it quickly. Cooper onto Beavers, fires a long ball out to John Griffiths. Blistering pace as Griffiths moves it over to the popular side. Beavers there, puts the tester, puts the bomb up. Lay comes in again, but Beavers runs up. Well, the ball, is it loose? George Mann goes in there, and Robinson it was that came in and pushed George as he came in and completed the tackle, and George Mann just gets up. Shows that he's not going to have put up with that, but then he came in and tackled the man hard. But referee Campbell's having a word with him. Obviously he's penalised him for the hard tackle. There wasn't anything foul or anything in it, so well, it's a bad kick there. Saints should be able to capitalise on this. Young Steve Prescott takes it up centre field. Sandwich there in between Hagan and the hooker Lawless. Now it's George Mann again. Obviously he was penalised for retaliating after Robinson, I think it was, had pushed him off. But now it's John Neal, drives it up centre field. Neal gets it away to Sonny Nicol. He took it well. He gets out of field house his tackle, and he drives it again, and Gary Lord takes him, and Nicol still pumping the legs and driving towards the Halifax line. Cooper. Beavers now looks for the gap, gets it away to Loughlin. 10 metres short of the Halifax line, looking for the opening score. 16 minutes gone. Now it's Dannett, looking for his third in a row. Can he squeeze in? He's forced back. The last one of the sequence. Bernard Dwyer, is he in? Yes, Dwyer's in. Superb work there by Dwyer as the referee pointed. I think he has, yes. Dwyer's in on the last tackle. Saints have got to make it count, and Bernard Dwyer did so. A good drive by Andy Dannett, as I said, looking for 3 tries in a row. He took the ball up. Then Bernard Dwyer, quick thinking, took the ball from the acting half-back position and just squoze in at the corner. Superb try from Bernard Dwyer. Dwyer's 5th try of the season. And let's see how Paul Loughlin goes now. As I said before, from in front of the sticks, sometimes have difficulty. And no doubt Paul, as well within his capabilities, he can pop this one over from the touchline. A couple of metres in, about 12 metres from the line, and it's coming in, that one, is it? Oh, just waved away, but unlucky there. 4-0, Saints in the lead. Paul Bishop, notable absentee, as I said this evening, had an operation, an exploratory knee operation. Don't know whether he actually had surgery on it, but a possible chance of him playing. He'll be sorely missed in the side. I don't think we'll miss him. Obviously we know what he's capable of. As Halifax restart. Just go 4 points to nil behind. Phil Vivers takes it. Saints just hitting a bit of top form. Running hard, playing for each other. And once Mike McLennan gets all the players fully fit, I suppose it's a pleasant headache to have. We've got Phil Vivers to play anywhere. Bernard Dwyer again, scampers away, good yardage. 10-15 yards, just brought down short of the halfway line. Along the line, Cooper, joint, misses out one man, gives it to George man. Now Steve Prescott. Super tackle there by Schuster. Put him right down, does a bit of mauling. Halifax moving up again as Vivers punts it downfield, putting pressure on Lay. And he's had a little bit of pressure in these early minutes, hasn't he? 18 minutes of the half gone. 4 points to nil, Saints in the lead. There's a little bit of doubt over Carl Harrison playing this evening. He's supposedly had a foot injury, but he got a knock. Obviously he was pronounced fit, but then got a knock in the early minutes. Sonny played 12 minutes. And John Fieldhouse, ex-Warrington Oldham, now with Halifax. And obviously ex-St Helens forward. And Lord again, taken down. Sonny Nicol and Bernard Dwyer move in. The game stopped, and who's going to be spoken to? Sonny Nicol. Referee Campbell, from down the road at Widnes. Ex-St Helens wingman in the early 70s. Didn't look too much in it there. Obviously, referee Campbell got a better view than us, but he's saying it was a high tackle. He's just letting Captain Shane Cooper know the indication. He came across there, Lord, and he was bounced down. Halifax fine touch, bang on the halfway line. Hooker Lawless, he should restart. On to Lord, quickly in. John Neal, first tackler in, along with Bernard Dwyer, brings him right down. Fieldhouse in possession. Saints moving quickly. Blindside ploy now, Devorty. The ball will have to be smothered, just as it was last Sunday. Well, didn't look as though it was played correctly, Devorty, but he played it quickly. Second row, David Boyd. He got the ball away, but Halifax losing yardage and pushed back 10-15 yards. Griffiths moving infield. Michael Hagan had a spell with Halifax about 10 years ago, when Halifax comprised of round about 13 Aussies. Prescott gathers it safely. No problem, beats the first line of defence and the second and drives through. Excellent competitor, a star for the future. We know Mike McLennan seems to think that Prescott needs to put a little bit of bulk on, but if you've got blistering pace like that, you can certainly get out of some sticky positions. Well, that was a bit of a high tackle on Nicol. The referee right on the job, and he never does a thing. Even if it wasn't intentional, well, it didn't connect. The intent was there. Nicol plays it to himself, drives up again. Vivers, George Mann, gives the dummy, breaks through. Support there from Chris Joint. Inside, oh, looking for the ball inside. Vivers and Loughlin with her. Saints now play it. Vivers putting the tester up yet again. And Vivers follows it up. Lays there. Lay takes it. Cooper meets him. Vivers have put everybody onside. Following it up. Obviously a testing time, and no doubt Malcolm Reilly, who's just to the right of me in the director's box, no doubt he'll know that Steve Prescott is new in the ranks, and he'll be tested. And now Prescott moving in. Oh, Prescott goes in. Oh, can't take him, but an excellent try there from Mark Preston. More or less 75 metres. Halifax moved it out quickly. There didn't look any danger, but Preston, we know what he's capable of. I said he's a speedy wingman. He took his chance well. It was moved quickly by Halifax over to the popular side. Steve Prescott came in, but he couldn't tackle him. Prescott, obviously the last line of defence, couldn't take him cleanly. And Halifax come up with a 4-pointer. Schuster entrusted with the goal-kicking duties. And while Schuster is preparing himself for a birthday mention for yesterday, the 25th of November, for John Kilshaw, best wishes and lots of love from Catherine, and also Catherine's mum Alice and all the family. And happy birthday wishes from your Saints video team. So John Kilshaw, whose birthday it was yesterday, the 25th of November. So Schuster now from the 20-metre line, looking to put Halifax in the lead. Score all tied at 4 points apiece, with 23 minutes on the clock. Bernard Dwyer trying the 16th minute. Unconverted, and Paul Loughlin unfortunately missed one from in front of the sticks just earlier on. Well, Schuster there, he makes no mistake with that one. He goals the Preston try, and Halifax in the lead by 6 points to 4. Good work there. Preston in acres of space. Halifax moved it quickly. That's the order of the day. Move the ball as quickly as you can. Try to beat the opposition. Halifax have been moving up exceptionally quickly throughout the 23 minutes we've played. But quick hands over there on the far side. And when you've got wingman like Preston with blistering pace, you can't afford to give them half a chance. Saints defence now hopefully will tighten up. John Fieldhouse gives the dummy. Chris Joint brings him down. Ex-buddies at Oldham, those two. Gary Devorty, ex-teammate of his, Andy Dannett there, takes him down. Last one of the sequence. Hagan pops it upfield. Prescott now, he takes it well. As I said, I would imagine Malcolm Rayleigh will be trying to put a bit of pressure on Steve Prescott, knowing that he's new in the ranks in the high kicking department, but we know what he's capable of, so he can take it all day. That was John Neal. Cooper along the line. Dannett, straight runner, drives in. Solid tackling there again. Beavers, long cut-out ball, misses Joint out, onto George Mann, now Loughlin, running down the wing. Well, Loughlin, is the tackle completed? It is. Schuster, and it's the last one of the sequence. Beavers again, pops it for the corner. Henry Sharp there as well, and Steve Lay stops it. Good tackle by Joint, moves in quickly, takes him man and ball, right round the chest. Henry Sharp, well, Dwyer moves in again. Two tackles, the Saints hold Halifax down there, and that's where they've got to be contained. It's moved over to the danger wing. Saints will have to move up quickly. Have to make sure the ball is smothered. In the early hours of this morning, obviously we had a lot of fog here at St Helens. Took a long time to lift. It was round about dinner before it all actually cleared. Visions obviously are the same as last week. Deep kick. Steve Prescott breaks through three. Just taken down. Robinson, I think it is. Yes, it is Robinson that brings him down. Mike Riley from the right wing over here on the left. A lot of mauling up to play the ball. But Chris Joint straightened it up just as his ankles tapped. Hooker, Lawless, just brought him down. Now it's Bernard Dwyer. Beats the first line of defence, gets it away to Cooper. Moves it over to the right. Beavers picks it up now with Nickel. Oh, well, the referee's given a knock on. The ball was moved quickly there. And obviously the referee spotted something that I don't think anybody else did, as play was allowed to go on. Scrum down. Feed by Robinson. Halifax in possession. Now with John Bentley. Moved over to, well, Bentley there took a knock. Got solid tackling on the far side. And Bentley doesn't look very well either. It looks as though the back substitute, Mark Perrott, are going to have to be introduced. John Bentley, he's another speed merchant as well. Referee Campbell stops the clock. Well, he's up now. Bentley, he's going to play the ball. Whether he will actually be substituted. But Fieldhouse, he come on for Carl Harrison. Quick play the ball there. And Gary Lord, 10 metres from the Saints line. Saints defence going to be tested here. Hagan, Devorty, Robinson on the line. Second row forward there, Michael Jackson. Well, it's Halifax now, moving it, crossfield. David Boyd. It's the last tackle of the sequence. Halifax being forced back. And they're electing to run it. Well, it's chipped through there. It's going to be too deep. Yes, going directly dead. Bernard Dwyer will restart. Tony Sullivan coming in, trying to catch Halifax unawares. Looking for support, turning the tackle, but Saints didn't back him up on that occasion. Well, ironic jeers as David Campbell penalises Halifax for moving up in an offside position. It took him 29 minutes plus to penalise them. As Halifax make another substitution, David Boyd has gone off and Mark Perrott has been introduced. Halifax in the lead, 6 points to 4. And Saints attacking. Cooper, inside ball, George Mann. Steve Prescott's there as well. He backs up well. Links up as the extra man. Chris Joint, taken by Beavers. Inside ball to Joint. Round the corner to Sullivan. Yes, Sullivan gets it down. That's a try. Superb work by the Saints there as they get the lead back. Well, they've not scored. I thought the man had scored. I thought Sullivan had scored. Just going to write it down on the sheet. Looks as though the referee had given it, but he did well there. Chris Joint moved well. Round the man pass to Sullivan. I thought he'd touch down as Cooper dribbles it through. Taken behind the line, so Halifax going to drop out from between the sticks. Some excellent pressure work by the Saints. Tony Sullivan, he's hit a bit of form. Been scoring well in the last few games. A low kick from Halifax. Finds touch just outside the 20-metre area. Shane Cooper will feed this, an ideal platform for the Saints to build up. Scrum possession by Cooper. Loop movement there with Beavers. But Beavers takes it. He runs the ball up. 20 metres from the Halifax line. Saints looking for a score. Joint again. He straightens up. Takes it up all day. Bernard Dwyer, acting halfback. John Neal driving in. 5 metres short. Saints now put it to Bernard Dwyer again. Oh, superb work. Superb work from Bernard Dwyer from the base of the scrum. And this time, Saints do regain the lead with Bernard Dwyer from acting half-back yet again. Superb try by Bernard Dwyer. A brace from Dwyer, his 6th of the season. And just a timely reminder, obviously, with Malcolm Reilly, the Halifax coach, in the director's box just to the right of me, and we're all saying, well, he was knocking on the door, but Lee Jackson was chosen for the Kiwi tests. And as we've said before, if your face doesn't fit, you don't get in, do you? Most underrated hooker in the league, but we know different. Steve Prescott now being asked to pop the extras on. 15 metres in from the touchline, just inside the 20-metre area. Well, that's bang between the sticks. Steve Prescott's second goal of the season. He converts Bernard Dwyer's try, and Saints in the lead now by 10 points to 6. 33 minutes gone on the clock. And you, Brian, our official timekeeper, our semi-official timekeeper, if I can say, with Frank Davis being the timekeeper. Brian assures me that we've had a minute of stoppage time. Paul Loughlin takes it. Saints in their own 20-metre area, obviously looking to go the length of the field. And Sonny Nicol taking up the running, Fuller running. Big John Neal for Halifax players. Bring him down now. It's George Mann running out wide. Good ball to Loughlin. Tried to put him into hell. A lot of mauling there from Devorty. Right in front of the touch judge. As George Mann brings it blindside, he gets it away to Mike Riley. From the right wing over here on the left. And certainly a lot of hard, firm tackling. Last one of the sequence. Phil Vevers pops it up. Tester again. Lay takes it comfortably. Then loses his footing. And Chris Joint just makes sure he doesn't escape. Well, loose play at the play of the ball. Phil Vevers brings down the hooker there, Lawless. 10-6 to score. Saints in the lead. 5 minutes to the interval. Halifax trying to squeeze the ball out. Last tackle of the sequence. Saints urge back onside. Robinson there gets the kick away. And Saints now build up yet again. Steve Prescott trying to wind his way through. Just taken down. Devorty it was there. Cooper onto Joint. Shakes it back and moves inside. Just waiting for the Saints to explode this evening. George Mann running out wide. Breaks the cover defence. Perrott moves in along with Jackson. Now John Neal. The type of player, John Neal, that every side should have. Cooper there tried to work the opposite switch move and received a thump for his trouble. Michael Jackson being excuse me, Michael Jackson being pulled out. Certainly didn't look a lot from our angle, but we'll accept that one gratefully, won't we? As I said before, and obviously you know we're on well, we're not on Sky Television, you're with your Saints video team, and tonight's game is going down to St John's College in Oxford to Simon Morris. He's the son of the Saints director Howard Morris. They'll be watching it on Sky and obviously taking in what Steve-O and Eddie Hemmings have to say, but this is going down to them. They want the proper version, don't they? And we'll give it to them. We as I said, we try to be totally impartial. I've got everything crossed. Steve Prescott there, pops it through. 3 minutes before the interval. Prescott with the penalty goal. Makes it 12 points to 6 now. His second of the evening, his third of the season. So, Simon Morris, I hope you'll look forward to watching this. And many more to come. A 6-point cushion for the Saints, and looking for more points before the half-time interval. Dwyer onto George Mann again. George Mann breaks through. Prescott's with him. He was just on his outside, he shouted for it, but George Mann took the tackle. Cooper, Beavers, it's got to be moved quickly. Inside ball, Griffiths has it now. Good yardage by the Saints, 40-50 metres upfield. They're looking for points before the half-time interval. John Neal gets it away now. Shane Cooper has to take the tackle. Solid tackling again. Enthusiastic tackling by Lawless. Last one of the sequence as Beavers chips it through. Bentley takes it. Saints move up quickly. Good running there by Phil Beavers. Chipped it through and then played the man. Quick hands. Halifax in possession. Riley and Sullivan change wings. Obviously Mike McLennan feels that, the scrum half Robinson breaks through, looking for support. He's well taken down on the 20-metre line. Good yardage by Halifax. Last tackle of the sequence. They're moving it over to the Preston side. And Sullivan there knocks Preston off the tackle and the ball. It was obviously grounded. Well, he's given the turnover. Surely the ball had been released. That should at least be a penalty for the Saints. But as I say, Anthony Sullivan been moved from the left wing over to the right wing to obviously combat Mark Preston. As John Neal takes it up, centre field. He gets the ball away to Bernard Dwyer. Always eager to back up Cooper. But Saints a little lax there. Not backing Shane Cooper up. Didn't expect the ball to be squeezed out, obviously. George Mann out wide. Paul Loughlin can't take it. Playing in stoppage time now. 40.5 minutes gone on the watch. And obviously a little bit of stoppage time for the injury to Carl Harrison. Well, John Fieldhouse manages to juggle with it and keep hold of possession. Michael Jackson, strong running. Beavers completes the tackle. Solid game, exciting game, not as exciting as the game at Oldham last Sunday. Well, not yet anyway. We have another 40 minutes to see if it is. Schuster tries to squeeze it out, but the ball must have been knocked forward. The referee looking at the touch judge, and he's just not having any at all. Last tackle of the sequence. And yet the Halifax players are claiming something to the touch judge. Nothing to claim about there, have they? Last tackle, Saints have just got to ground the ball, stop the ball, and it's a turnover. But Halifax keep it moving. Perrott along the line, now with Schuster. George Mann moves in. Henry Sharp comes in. Sharp going for the line. It's the last tackle, and then the turnover will be ruled now. And there's the half-time hooter. So that could have been oh so close there, right at the death at half-time. With Halifax getting brought down just short of the line. 12-6 to half-time score. Dwyer with his first try of the half in the 16th minute. It went unconverted. 6 minutes later, Preston with a 75-yard job. Schuster goaled it. Halifax in the lead at 6 points to 4. Then 8 minutes before the interval, Bernard Dwyer from acting half-back again scampered over. Prescott goaled it this time. And then 3 minutes before the interval, Prescott with a penalty goal popped it right between the sticks. His second of the evening. So the half-time score is Saints 12, Halifax 6. Back with you now for the second half, the Stones Bitter League Championship clash. Halifax trailing 12 points to 6 at half-time. Went very close just before the interval. But solid Saints tackling on the 6th tackle as well. Could have easily proved costly. Saints with a converted try, the points difference. 2 Bernard Dwyer tries, 2 Steve Prescott goals. Ready for the second half. Halifax to get us underway. They're playing down to the restaurant end. John Griffiths. Awkward bounce. Chris Joint left it. Griffiths came up with it. Sixth position, Halifax in the league with 15 points. Saints are in second position with 16 points, so it shows you how tightly contested it is. The wire at the top. Loughlin driving it up well and playing well is Paul Loughlin. Beavers entrusted with the kicking duties. Good kick upfield. Steve Lay takes it on about the third bounce. Saints have to give him the yardage. Oh, Fieldhouse again, juggles with it, manages to control it. And Halifax moving it out wide. Good run in there. Michael Jackson inside to Gary Devorty. Superb tackling again. Neil round the legs, Wire round the chest. Perrott, I think that is, on the far side. So Halifax used both the substitutes. Harrison has gone off injured. Now Sullivan. Preston and Bentley moving quickly. John Griffiths. Well, Gary Lord coming in a bit over the top there on John Griffiths as he moved in field. Certainly looked a bit naughty and it's took the stuffing out of John Griffiths. Well, over the top again on John Neal by John Bentley. Saints physio, Jeanette Smith, just coming round to treat John Griffiths. Just took a knock there. Saints move it upfield. George Mann pushes the defenders off again, looking to unload. Beavers gives himself a little bit of space. Just shimmies to one side and gets the ball away. Going to run directly dead, it does. And Halifax will restart from the centre of the 20-metre line. So it's temporarily down to 12 players. John Griffiths receiving treatment. Attacking halfback, John Lawless the hooker. Blindside ploy, Fieldhouse employed. Running out wide. Good running there by Halifax, solid tackling there. Robinson moving crossfield, creating the gap. Halifax player down injured, Schuster is in possession on the far side. John Griffiths just pushed out onto the wing, whether he's going to be substituted or not, I don't know. Saints come up with possession. The ball's been knocked forward. Yes, Saints making a substitution now. Gus O'Donnell coming on and replacing John Griffiths. Didn't look too well, John, unfortunately. Took a knock over here, or rather, in my opinion, a high tackle. He's got a leg injury. And Gus O'Donnell moves into the centre position. Halifax with scrum possession. 12-6 to score. Approaching 4 minutes to the second half has been played. Bentley, he runs it straight. Lawless, Devorty, strong running. Both coaches will have had stern team talks at half-time. Preston, roving commission on the left wing, but popped up over there on the right, and now Halifax bring it over to the left. Long cut-out ball to Devorty, should be taken comfortably. Well, he's looking for support. Perrott loomed round him. Bentley steps up, attacking half. Robinson chips it across the face of the post. Well, good ball there. Young Prescott, is it? Moves in. Took it well. Under a lot of pressure. An angled kick from Robinson. Now it's Paul Loughlin. Runs it straight and hard. Just can't evade the tackle. Halifax doing a good containing job, but Saints getting the ball away. Cooper now gets the ball onto young Prescott, Steve Prescott. Halifax urged to get on side. Last one of the sequence. Riley in possession. Beavers. He gets it away. Henry Sharp takes it comfortably. Siding his way through is Sharp. Well taken down by Phil Beavers. Quick break by Lawless. Good yardage by Halifax. Along the line they spread it. Bentley turns it inside. Bentley again steps up. Chris Joint doing the tackling there. Blindside ploy. It's now with Fieldhouse. Well, Fieldhouse. Oh, Gus O'Donnell just brings him down at the last gasp. But good yardage by Halifax. They're approaching the Saints 20-metre area. Well, that certainly looks a hint of obstruction as Lord came across. But the scrum half there touches down behind the sticks. 6 minutes gone. Chris Robinson, they squared it out well, Halifax. And Robinson touches down. For Halifax, second try. And that's going to level the scores up surely. And Schuster, just a formality for this fellow. Right in front of the sticks. But good rugby from Halifax. They drove up well. It all started from Saints kicking the ball upfield on the sixth tackle. Henry Sharp gathered it, made good yardage, and then the rest of the set of six, the ball was drove upfield, and some good interpassing, and Chris Robinson finished off right under the sticks, or right between the sticks. Schuster will convert it. Last season in the league. Saints doing the double over Halifax. Both tightly contested games, 18 points to 16 here at Nosey Road, 18 points to 12 at Thrum Hall, and in the Premiership here at Nosey Road, another high-scoring game, but Saints came through winners by 34 points to 25, and all those three games were on the old Sky television. We're on again tonight, and Halifax level the game up at 12 points each. Saints on the back of 3 away wins, Dewsbury, Leeds and Oldham. But all square. Sheffield, the only side to lower the Saints colours here at Nosey Road this season. Halifax have possession. Well, he was taking that ball and just getting ready to pass it before he'd actually got control of it. I'm very pleased to say. And it's a chance now for Saints to feed this scrum and see if they can put it together. It's Cooper onto O'Donnell, gives it back to Cooper in the Halifax 20-metre area, looking obviously to get back in the lead as Chris Joint runs out wide, turns in the tackle. Bill Beavers was there, couldn't be squeezed out. Now it's with Nicol. Fiery Great Britain forward. Nicol, the ball's loose. Nicol squared it out. Joint couldn't control it. Halifax regained possession. Lord. That's the player, not a statement. Or Schuster. Getting their own 20-metre area. That's where they've got to be contained. But we've seen what the wingmen can do. Preston and Sharp. Looking very quick Off the mark, and there's Robinson again. Well, he gets the ball away. That was forward, wasn't it? That was slipped out to Perrott. I think it was Fieldhouse it was. But that certainly looked forward. But Robinson there is just getting right in the swing of things, and he'll have to be watched. Sullivan takes it. Saints have to play it. Sullivan tries to round his man. He'll have to come in field. He does do. Preston comes back, has another bite of the cherry. Beavers trying to draw the man. To Shane Cooper. Going in with the knees there, John Fieldhouse. A little aggressive in the tackle as George Mann looking to create the gap. Chris Joint running with him. Now it's John Neal. Good ball there to Dannett. He gets it away. Loughlin scoops it out to the earth. On to Mike Riley. Saints now creating a bit of space. Good yardage by the Saints. Into passing, throwing the ball out. Get the ball to the work, and a good bit of yardage for the Saints. Sonny Nicol running hard onto it. Gus O'Donnell slipped it out. John Fieldhouse completed the tackle. O'Donnell going for the one-pointer. Got under the sticks, or just to the left. Obviously hard to see from the position here. But Gus O'Donnell kicked 8 drop goals this season. 7 in the league, 1 in the Regal. And Halifax restart from the 20-metre line. 12 points apiece. All on 11 minutes of the second half gone. And John Fieldhouse running out wide again. Beavers and Dannett quickly in. Devorty. He's taken down by Beavers. Halifax moving it centre field. The tackling's got to be firm. It'll have to be tightened up. Michael Jackson comes through. Nicol and Beavers again. Tireless display of defence by Beavers this evening. Hagan chips it through. Cooper reads it well. Wily old campaigner is Cooper. Read it well there as Hagan tried to chip it through to put his 3/4 into space. Paul Loughlin now, he drives it up. The spectators get behind them. John Neal looking for support. And they cry out. Back the man up with the ball. Quick hands, George Mann, good ball to Loughlin. Riley on his outside. With excellent tackling. Last one of the sequence. Chipped through by George Mann. Halifax have to play it. And George Mann follows up and completes the tackle and forces the man into touch. Good work by George Mann on the far side. But the touch judge in there, he put the flag up, and surely George Mann's not going to be spoken to. Followed the ball up, chipped it through, did George, putting pressure on Henry Sharp, and well, George Mann got 10 minutes in the sin bin. Another dubious decision. Looked perfectly in order, that. George Mann following, chipped it through, followed it up, forced the man into touch, and received 10 minutes in the sin bin for his pains. 12 apiece to score. 13 minutes gone of the second half. Saints defence going to be tested now, being one man down. Well, the ball released in the tackle, the ferocity of the tackle. And referee Campbell, well, not winning many friends with the St Helens public. Quick hands, long cut-out ball, Preston again. Gus O'Donnell comes in. Preston does the shimmy, and he rounds Steve Prescott, and he's in for another excellent try. That's a superb try by Preston. There's no danger about that. Preston goes in for his second. He's certainly the jewel in the crown. There's no danger about that. He took the ball deep in his own half, and it didn't look as though there was anything on. Gus O'Donnell come across. He just hadn't got the pace to catch him. Saints defence tested again, and Preston pierces it once again, puts Halifax in the lead by 16 points to 12. And that's a superb effort, so there's no danger about that. But Saints are down to 12 players, with George Mann being sin-binned. And as you can see there, just a yard infield and just inside, or just outside the 20-metre area. Schuster there, looking to tag the extras on. His kicking's been spot on this evening. A difficult conversion attempt, but Preston there, some superb tries. I think it was Preston last season when the Saints won here 18 points to 16, that it was Preston that should have gone in. That bottom, the bottom right-hand corner, as I'm viewing, the corner of the Eddington and the Popular stand. The ball was flipped out to him, and all he had to do was catch it and go over, and he dropped it. And the game was lost as far as Halifax are concerned. They're in the lead by 16 points to 12 now, and this Schuster conversion to come. The Saints making rather hard work of it this evening. That's narrowed. So Halifax take the lead again. They have a 4-point cushion. 16-12 the score. 15 minutes of the second half gone. Saints opened the scoring in the first half, then Halifax hit back. They took the lead in the 22nd minute. Saints regained it 10 minutes later. 12-6 in their favour at half-time. But Saints kick off and fine touch on the Popular stand side. Scrum down now. Halifax speed. Just on the 20-metre line. Tony Sullivan had been brought over to this right wing from the left wing position to combat Preston, but unfortunately it couldn't be shifted. Schuster brings in Preston again. He'll have to be watched, but a little bit too late, because obviously he's touchdown for 2 tries. John Fieldhouse. Janet completes the tackle. Sullivan marks up. Now with Robinson, moves it infield. Gary Lord. Halifax running hard and strong. Only lost one away from home. Well, the ball's lost. A knock-on indicated by the touch judge just in front of us. The referee looked over to this side, the paddock side, and if the Saints spectators hadn't shouted, I don't think the referee would have even looked over here. But it was the touch judge that gave it. Saints have scrum possession. Gus O'Donnell brings the ball over to Tony Sullivan. Well, Bentley there, rather enthusiastic round the neck. Inside ball, Cooper, Sonny Nickel. He drives out of the tackling again. Well, Bentley in with the elbow there, a forearm smash. Asking the touch judge about it, but he's not having anything to do with it. Steve Prescott. Saints in possession, but obviously finding it hard to penetrate this Halifax defence. Good yardage there. Excellent drive. Andy Dannett. Bernard Dwyer to Cooper. Cooper looking for space. Tries to create the gap. Turns back in the tackle. Well, it's a turnover. I didn't see the referee's hand outstretched. Obviously Cooper looking to create the gap on the last tackle. And Halifax get possession from the turnover. They're in their own 20-metre area. Lawless flicks it up to Lord. I think it's Lord who's lost his headgear. John Neal strikes again. The tackle count wave clean. Lawless comes away with it. Now with the half-back, look, very lively half-back Robinson. Come to the fore in this second half. Quietish first half. Devorty. Inside ball. Perrott. Lawless attacked in half-back. Last tackle of the sequence. No, it wasn't have been Lord before he's got his headgear on. The tester there. Prescott under a little bit of pressure. The ball knocked forward. Strung down, Halifax speed. Robinson will feed this scrum. The referee just allowing the pack down. Hagen, Bentley, straight runner, looking for support. Hagen's there. Well, Shane Cooper picks it up. Bad pass to Mark Preston, otherwise Halifax could have been in again. A little bit of sloppy handling by the Saints, but Shane Cooper slowing it down. Now it's with Sullivan. Solid tackling again, and Halifax moving up exceptionally quickly. John Neal, well, that's a high tackle there by John Fieldhouse on John Neal, and he's saying it, the referee Campbell is saying it bounced off his chest and onto his head. Well, there's another one as well. So, Bernard Dwyer now, good yardage by the Saints. They're virtually from their own line, and now they find halfway. Referee Campbell. Gus O'Donnell chips it through. Robinson well positioned, and Gus O'Donnell completes the tackle. Preston at dummy half. I beg your pardon, it's Steve Lay. Comes in field, and Lay finds the gap. Brought down on the halfway line. Halifax now, as Saints are giving him too much yardage. George Mann will be introduced back any time now. 10 minutes. 10 minutes is nearly up. Just outside the 20-metre area. Halifax in possession. Robinson takes it along the line. Hagen puts a tester up again. Well, took the man before the ball was there. Hagen went up with the knee, and that's an illegal challenge on Steve Prescott. And there's no reason, for my money, why Hagen shouldn't have 10 minutes in the sin bin for that. Halifax making another substitution. Gary Lord going off. And David Boyd coming back on. So from the penalty award, Saints gain a few more yards. John Neal running strong, but the Halifax defence is tight. Boyd quickly in at the tackle. Dwyer now, looking for the gap. Devastating close to the line, Bernard Dwyer this evening. George Mann back on, as I said now, after he's enforced 10 minutes. Very harsh in my impartial opinion. Cooper squeezing it out. Saints still retain possession. Halifax urged to get back onside. Now with Sonny Nicol, runs out wide. Has to take the tackle. Last one of the set. Now with Gus O'Donnell. Puts one, a diagonal one to the corner. Is he going to run dead? It is. Lay brings it back, so just too deep from Gus O'Donnell there. 23 minutes of the second half gone. Saints trailing by 16 points to 12. As I said last week at Oldham, Steve Owen tipped Oldham. Is that the kiss of death? He's tipped us this evening in a close encounter. Saints trailing 16-12. Robinson moving it centre field, looking to draw the Saints defence over, then release the ball. But he was well clamped this time. Chris Joint moved in. Michael Hagen. Away to Lawless. Well, they very felt that tackle, didn't he? Bernard Dwyer, two hookers together. Well, shabby play by Halifax. The ball went back. Schuster has it. It's now with Devorty, looking to draw the Saints defence in, but Halifax are getting away with it. Well, it's the ball squeezed out. The ferocity of the tackle there, Nicol and Beavers. Chris Joint picks it up. And now Saints have possession. Tony Sullivan trying to thread his way through. over-enthusiastic tackling by Bentley, and they certainly got away with some high ones in this second half. But George Mann again creates the gap. Riley did well, held onto the ball. Awkward ball. Now it's with Dannett. Bounces off the first line of defence. Dwyer again, John Neal. Halifax surge back. Have to line up behind their own 20-metre line. The Saints move it left. George Mann again, out to Mike Riley. Oh, excellent tackling on the far side. Last one of this set of 6 for the Saints. Will the ball go up in the air? Russ O'Donnell puts the tester, puts pressure on Halifax. It's loose, but Bentley comes up with it. And Halifax scored 2 long-range tries by Preston. Saints will be aware of this, and they'll want to contain him up there, or contain the Halifax side up there. 15 minutes now to pull this one out of the bag. Saints got to get the next score. Robinson, Devarty slips it out to Hagan. Cooper comes in. Hagan well smothered there. Well, Hagan's on the top and he's kicking out. Bernard Dwyer had completed the tackle. Bentley on to Schuster. Well, Sharp was behind the Halifax players. Sonny Nicol clatters him to the ground. The last one of the sequence. The kick angled for the corner. Finds touch right by the corner flag, and the ball will be brought back and the scrum will be formed 10 metres in and 10 metres from the Saints line. Good tactical kicking by Halifax, pegging the Saints down in their own 20-metre area. Cooper comes up with it. Certainly could do with a full length of the field job. Now it's George Mann running out wide again. Good ball. Beavers out to Loughlin. On to Riley. Riley into a bit of space. Breaks through the first line defence. Brings the ball up to the halfway line. A lot of mauling by Michael Jackson there, but Saints managed to restart and get it played. Joint. Cooper along the line. O'Donnell. Well, O'Donnell tried to draw the defence in. Gets away. Oh, just brought down there by Perry. Shane Cooper brings up the Saints again. Tries to lead them. Gets it onto Chris Joint. Good yardage by the Saints. Up to the Halifax 20-metre area. The Saints crowd get behind them now. Now it's Cooper leading by example again. Beavers. Loughlin. Out to Riley. Can he squeeze in? Oh, good tackling again by Halifax. The defence has been good in this second half. Last one. Beavers dribbles it through. Then was held down and the ball's not loose. Hits the post. Unlucky there. With a penalty awarded. Is it? No. Yes, he's given the penalty. Holding back there. Surely a possibility of maybe an obstruction try. But Shane Cooper. Says referee Campbell, we'll go for goal, we'll go for the 2 points, and why not? 12 minutes to the final hooter, and there's only going to be 2 points in it now. Steve Prescott's going to be asked to pop this one over. Halifax doing a good containing job in the second half, and coming out with 2 tries in the space of 7 minutes from Robinson and Preston. The Robinson try converted by Schuster. That put them back on level terms, and then Preston's length of the field job again, or virtually length of the field job, putting them in the lead. But Saints pull back 2 points. 16-14 the score. Prescott's third of the evening. Lay from the centre spot. Certainly not rushing to get play underway. And as I usually say, come on you Saints is the cry from the popular side faithful below where I am usually ensconced. But obviously in the director's box for this evening's clash, and Bentley going in again, yet a little enthusiastically, and the man's on the ground. Sonny Nicol takes on David Boyd and John Fieldhouse. And Saints again, moving it over. Gus O'Donnell, quick hands. George Mann, heavily involved, looking to squeeze the ball out. Can't get away with it this time. A blindside ploy from Bernard Dwyer. 10 metres from the halfway line. Cooper working the loop move with Mike Riley. Last one of the sequence. Saints now. The ball with Gus O'Donnell. Pops a high one up. Lay. He takes it comfortably. He'll have to be met. George Mann there on the far side. They try to keep the man on his feet and force him towards the touchline. Now it's Schuster. Malcolm Riley on my right there. He's getting his messages down to the dugout. Obviously he knows that Halifax have 10 minutes to go. They're in the lead by 16 points to 14. Obviously they need the points, just as the Saints do. Can't really afford to lose another with the difficult Yuletide fixtures coming up, obviously against the old Pie Eaters and then the Chemics. Well, I knocked the ball knocked forward. Referee there, who's the knock-on. Halifax knocked it forward. It's a scrum down on the centre spot with the Saints speed. Shane Cooper now just organising his troops. Paul Loughlin moving over, so the ball was going to come over blind side. Now change of direction. Gus O'Donnell, long ball to Vivers. Tried to break through there, but Bentley, well, second tackling there. Hagan, the flopper. Now that surely should be 10 minutes in the sin bin for that. The man's been penalised on numerous occasions, and George Mann was penalised and sin bin for a similar offence. Now the Saints now build it up. Bernard Dwyer breaks out of the first tackle, drives into the Halifax 20-metre area. The Saints public get behind them. They're trailing by 2 points. 16-14 the score. Saints have got to come up with a 4-pointer at least. Halifax urged to get back on side, and they're all in front of the referee. Andy Dannett, he drives it up. He has to stick hold of it. He's looking for support. The support wasn't forthcoming. The Saints move it left. Gus O'Donnell. The ball still spreading. Saints still holding on to it. Halifax defence moves up. They know that they've got to stop Saints spreading the ball. Gus O'Donnell. Steve Prescott. Last one of the sequence. The ball will come back centre field with it. Gus O'Donnell sees the gap, chips it through. Saints come up with possession. Did it touch the Halifax player? No, Halifax have possession. I thought Beavers would come up with it, but obviously not. It's David Boyd or Gary Lord that has it. But Halifax have possession. Saints are going to contain them there, or hoping to contain them in the 20-metre area. A lot of pressure is going to be put on this Halifax defence. Can't allow them to run whatsoever. Bentley. With tackling there. Schuster, he comes in field. Last one now. Saints will have put pressure on the kicker. Hagan it is. He gets it away. Sits up nicely for Tony Sullivan. Sullivan straightens up. Solid tackling there. Diverty and Michael Jackson quickly in. George Mann running out wide. It's very sharp man, and he certainly looks like one player that can penetrate this tight Halifax defence. Mike Riley, he steps up there. 7 minutes to the final hooter. 16 points to 14 the score in Halifax favour. Dannett out to O'Donnell. Saints lining up in numbers over here as Chris Joint just couldn't squeeze through. Now it's Cooper. Cooper chips it for the corner, does he? No, it's just a slight chip through, puts pressure on Halifax again, and Saints yet again contain Halifax in the 20-metre area. They're putting a lot of pressure. George Mann going to be penalised for breaking too quickly. I think he is. Well, it's holding the man. Well, no, it's Halifax that have been penalised. Saints are going to go for goal, that's a cert. Yes, Steve Prescott going to be asked to pop the extra, or hopefully convert this penalty award. But Halifax there being penalised. I thought he was going to penalise George Mann for moving up too quickly, because George Mann broke very quickly. As I said, he certainly looks one player that could penetrate this defence. But Steve Prescott being asked to convert this. Unfortunately, 2 misses earlier in the piece, in the first half. The conversion to the Bernard Dwyer try was missed, and unfortunately Paul Loughlin missed one from between the right in front of the sticks, I should say, earlier on. Steve Prescott steps up, strikes it well. The crowd like it. The flags go up, and the scores are all level. 16 points apiece. And this certainly makes for an exciting last 5 minutes. Come on, you Saints, again is the cry, and why not? Malcolm really, as I said, again just to my right, and I would imagine there'll be a lot of tight bums on seats in this stand here. Halifax kick-off, Beavers takes it. Saints again now will drive and hopefully break this tight Halifax defence. George Mann was unfortunately sin-binned. Preston came up with the full length of the field try, or 3/4 of the length of the field try. Saints keep it going. It's touched by a Halifax player. The tackle count will be waved clean. Chris Joynt gets it away. Oh, to Prescott. And he looked as though he was taking a little high, but he gets up quickly. Shane Cooper brings it blindside. Dannett onto Beavers. Draws the man inside. Tony Sullivan comes inside. Looks for a little bit of space. Bentley over the top yet again, and he clouts his own man. Well, that served him right, doesn't it? If Bentley went in, he flattened Perrett. The touch judge didn't come up with it. 3 minutes to the final hooter. The score is essentially for the Saints to keep up the winning ways. Gus O'Donnell being asked to go for the drop. Is it there? No, it's gone to the right. But has it gone dead? The Saints obviously trying to get the one-pointer that could clinch the 2 league points this evening. Halifax now will restart from the 20-metre line. The tackling, they'll have to be firm. Both of Preston's tries have been full-length jobs. Yes, Bernard Dwyer named as the man of the match, and only rightly so. 2 excellent tries from the base of the play the ball, the active half-back position. Hagan at dummy half, Robinson along the line, Devorty. Tackling will have to be at the premium, 16 points apiece. Schuster, well clamped, last one of the sequence. Let's see what Halifax have up the sleeve. They're going to run it crossfield, now it's Hagan. Knocked down, is it a charge down? No, it's still the last tackle. Saints will have to make sure the tackling's firm. Hagan gets it away again. It's gone over to Mike Riley's wing. A buzz of excitement as Riley gets the ball there. Breaks through the first line of defence. 1.5 minutes on my watch as Paul Loughlin comes up with it. He's brought down on the halfway line. Another 4 tackles for the Saints to move upfield, put pressure on Halifax. Dannett runs it strongly. Dwyer again sets up the charge. John Neal, well, double knock on, both sides knock on. John Neal obviously taking a clout in that tackle. It was a good old shoulder charge on John Neal. The ball was released from his hands, possibly the last scrum of the match maybe. Fed by Robinson. Saints will have to break quickly. Lay up in the line from the full-back position. And he breaks through the first line of Saints defence. Loughlin wraps him up. Hagan has possession now. Halifax in possession. Saints urged to get back onside. Halifax in an attacking position now, and maybe they'll have a go for drop goal for the 2 league points. Lawless taken down by George Mann, and George Mann stands the man up and forces him back 5 metres. Robinson. Good drive by Halifax. Last tackle of the sequence. 40 minutes on the watch. Are they going to go for drop goal? Hagan tries it, but it's nowhere near. Now let's see if Steve Prescott can set us alight. Oh, broke through the first line. Just taken down by Devorty. Beavers brings it blindside. Breaks quickly. Tries to draw the defence in. Pushes past Bentley. Bentley again. He has to have a dig, doesn't he, Bentley? Chris Joint. 40 minutes gone on the watch. Time added on now for stoppages. Cooper looking to create the gap. Still driving his Cooper. Brought down on the centre spot. Andy Dannett. Obviously it's just what the timekeepers have. Are we going for a length of the field drop goal? No, John Neal takes it up. Gets it away to O'Donnell. O'Donnell chips it. Hacks it on again. The ball's still loose, but it's gone back to Halifax now. 16 apiece to score. Looks as though Saints are going to come out with 1 point for this evening's encounter. Tightly contested game. But once again, Saints caught on 2 occasions when Preston went the full length of the field. And that's proved crucial, obviously. Brought them 2 tries. 1 converted by Schuster. Time running out, 1.5 minutes of stoppage time played. Lord drives it up. Last tackle of the sequence. Halifax running it. Hagan puts a tester up. Mike Riley juggles with it, but comes up cleanly. There's the full-time hooter. The score's all tied, 16 points apiece, as the Saints come out at least with a share of the spoils. They get 1 point out of it, but it shows how crucial, unfortunately, that those 2 early goal chances, especially that one right in front of the sticks, it was missed, and then Dwyer's try went unconverted, but it's how it goes. Sometimes you can pop them over from all angles, and other times they just don't go between the sticks. It was 12 points to 6 at half time. Then more or less it was all Halifax in the opening 15 minutes of the second half. A try from Robinson, an excellent individual try, obviously finished by Robinson after a lot of interpassing by the team. That was goal by Schuster, 12 apiece then. 7 minutes later, Preston went 75 yards again, put Halifax in the lead at 16-12, but it was Steve Prescott that pulled the Saints back with 2 goals, 12 minutes before the full-time hooter, and then 5 minutes before the full-time hooter. So the score here, 16 points apiece. We won't be joining you at Hull. Obviously we're on the television on Sky next Friday, and we hope we can join you for the Regal Trophy against Warrington, which will be shown on BBC. So 2 weeks on the trot now, for another 2 weeks on the trot for the Saints to be on the box. So thanks for joining us. You've been with your Saints video team. We'll see you soon.